So we're back looking at the Papilio SOC prototype system, and I'm going to go ahead and start a new design that's going to implement all the components we need for the LogicStart MegaWing. And the first thing I'm going to start with is the 7-segment display, and I guess we'll just make this a multi-part video. So I'm opening up the design, opening up the schematic. We're going to add the 7-segment hardware peripheral, and we want to add it to slot 9 just because we already have an example that was coded in VHDL that connects to slot 9, so that just works with our existing Arduino code a little bit easier. Alright, so we have the slot, or we have the peripheral connected to slot 9. Now let's add the output ports. We need one for dot. The segment enable, we don't need one on extra. Okay, so now if we go and we look at the UCF file, so to save time, I've actually replaced the UCF file with the LogicStart MegaWing one, the generic one, and I've made a couple modifications. The biggest one is I converted all of the segments A, B, C, D, E, F, G to a single bus called SIG data. So let's go ahead and change the name of this SIG data to what matches in the UCF file. Okay, and then for dot, we call that this one. And then for enable, that's actually the anodes. And so, you know, a part of the system is going to be documentation. Right now, I know all this stuff from looking at the VHDL code, but ultimately we want to get good documentation that you could refer to know what you need to set these things to. Okay, so that should be all we need for this. And this should be ready to synthesize. Oh, the other thing is I removed the external ports for wing A, B, C. We're not going to be using those. So all we have is a 7-segment hardware accelerator basically, and we're going to synthesize the ZPUino along with the 7-segment display and then run it with the Arduino IDE. So I'll go ahead and start synthesizing this design, and I'm going to pause it because this takes a while, and we'll get back to the Arduino IDE. Okay, we're back and the bit file has been generated. So let's go ahead and load it to the Papilio. I'm going to write it to SPI flash. Oh, I got to plug it in first. There we go. Alright, so now let's take a look at the Arduino Sketch that we used to run this. So basically this first line is telling the Sketch that we connected this peripheral to IO wishbone slot 9, and that's how our code is able to talk to that peripheral we just synthesized into our design. Then the rest of this stuff is all stuff that really should be in a library, but for now this is just quick and dirty. And then in our loop, what we're doing is we're calling this function to write a value, and the value is just a counter counting from 0 up infinite or to however much, and so an integer, and that's it. So next I'm going to show you it running on the board.